How's it? Indian Cowboy, DocSports.com. Connection on Sunday, November the 17th, as we get this video to you. This will be a very long video. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, I think 20 free play selections. But your main free play, of course, is going to be between the Atlanta Falcons and the Denver Broncos in just a second. Hello, I'm Indian Cowboy. This is Doc Sports. Indian Cowboy's been around for 19 years, and Doc Sports has been around for 53 years. Been around a long time. How this works is our best selections over at docsports.com under Arun Shiva. Our next best selections are free picks and leans, which is the daily video you're watching right now. And of course, we have a popular YouTube premium teaching channel, which I did a live show earlier today at around 12:45 before game time happened. And I think people are really happy that we did that. And we'll get to your video in a second. Today's video will have thoughts on the NFL, the late games, 4 p.m., college basketball, NHL, and the NBA. So jam-packed video. And so let's get to it. Let me give you a recap of what's going on in our neck of the woods. We had a down week this week yesterday. We had an 8-unit selection, which was an absolute dud on South Carolina. 9-2 now with 8-unit selections. We are off to an 8-5 start in college basketball. We did finish the nightcap with the 4-unit winner on Kansas plus the points over BYU. And we're 8-5 to start the college basketball season at plus 2,000. We really like our 4-unit college basketball selection today, our 4-unit NBA selection today. I'm pretty sure we're going to go on a strong run. We had a great run, then now we had a dip. Now we're back to excited about having the prospect of a great run. So hopefully that'll happen. And looking forward to you joining us for college basketball, NBA, NHL, soccer, golf, MMA. The daily props, another winner yesterday, 18-8 for plus 38.80, and the football. So hopefully you'll join us for all of that. And so let's get to it here. All right. Your free play selection here, quickly. Football, college basketball, NBA, NHL, soccer, golf, MMA, and daily props. I hope you certainly join us for all of that. All right, let's get your free play winner today, and it is between the Atlanta Falcons and the Denver Nuggets here. I like the Falcons here, man, and I know Denver had a phenomenal game in their last game against the Kansas City Chiefs, and they very well could bounce back, and maybe we're playing with fire. I really don't know. But that line has moved up all the way to Denver -2 now because obviously Denver is on the bounce back. So for my free plays, I'm trying to give you a free selection. It's either going to be the Atlanta Falcons, it's either going to be the Chargers, or it's going to be it's going to be Houston Texans, which seems a little too obvious, or the Buffalo Bills. So it could be any one of those. But I actually like the Atlanta Falcons here plus the 2, and the reason is you have to ask yourself plus the 2 or you have to ask yourself who has Denver beaten. Right? Denver's obviously a much better team now, but who has Denver beaten? And the Falcons haven't lost back-to-back games all year. They come off a 17-20 loss to the Saints in a game they probably should have won, and because Koo missed 3 field goals. And then you have Denver here who lost to Baltimore and Kansas City. But out of Denver's 5 wins so far, they've been against Tampa Bay, who's sub 500, been against the Jets, sub 500, Vegas, sub 500, New Orleans, sub 500, and Carolina, sub 500. And then you have Atlanta, who comes off wins against Dallas and Tampa Bay and Carolina and Tampa Bay and New Orleans. But they do have that one win against Philadelphia, which says something there too. And at the end of the day, I like the Falcons plus the 2. I think is what brings more value here. And I'm going to go with the Falcons plus the 2 today. And I think that is our free play selection. Now, as far as the other free play selections here, between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills, I like the Bills here. I think at some point the Bills are going to have to stop losing to the Chiefs. And I think it's probably here. And keep in mind, head-to-head wise, the Chiefs won 27-24 the last time, but the 2 times before that, the Bills won. And, maybe the Chiefs are looking ahead of the Bills, but the Chiefs have failed to cover 3 straight times, and the Bills, put up at least 30 points in the last 4 games, and I think Buffalo is going to be really excited coming into this game, and they want to be the first team to end this undefeated season the Chiefs have going for them. So that kind of does make sense here, and so lean on the Buffalo Bills there. Moving on here. Looks like moving on here. Cincinnati Cincinnati Bengals versus LA Chargers. I like the Chargers at the end of the day. I think that defense is just too good. And look, Burrow threw for 430 yards his last game, and he still ended up losing 4 touchdowns and no interceptions. The Chargers, Herbert threw for 170 yards, I think, in his last game, and they won. And they won 3 in a row. Herbert doesn't have to do so much because that Chargers defense is just so good. And I think the Bengals have a hangover from that Ravens game, and I like the Chargers here. Houston versus Dallas. I like the Texans here. The Texans haven't won this game in forever, and I think it's a great opportunity for them to do well. This is a battle of Texas. You think Houston cares that Dallas doesn't have a quarterback? No, they could care less. And I think Dallas is going to keep losing. Dallas lost 21, and Dallas has lost 4 straight covers. Houston comes in losing back-to-back games to the Lions only by 3 and to the Jets. Houston is 6-4. There's no way they're going to have a letdown here, or there's no way they're not going to be focused here. And the fact that Detroit, I mean, look at the Jaguars-Lions game, right? The fact that Detroit had to come all the way back from 23-7 down just shows you how good the Texans are, because the Lions normally are killing teams right now. And it just is too public of a play for me, but I do like the Texans very much. Utah versus Mississippi State. I like Mississippi State here in college basketball. Mississippi State beat this team by 3 points about 2 years ago. Utah is 3-0, and Coach Craig has a fantastic team. I get Utah has a very good team here with Coach Craig. They beat Alcorn State, Central Arkansas, and Queens. The difference, though, is Mississippi State needs this non-conference game. They are 3-0 as well. Mississippi State has a far more veteran team, and I like Mississippi State. Clemson and Boise State here. I like Clemson here. 3-0 and 2-1 teams here. Clemson won by 17 points last year, which is why Boise State is favored here with revenge. But Clemson's a really good team, and Boise State already lost in San Francisco, and Clemson is definitely the better team. Lean on Clemson. Coppin State versus Miami. And let me finish all the college basketball, and I'll get to your NBA and the NHL. Coppin State, Miami. I like the under there. Coppin State is 0-5, and Miami is 2-0. Coppin State won 2 games last year. Miami is 2-0 out of the gates, by the way. So that just shows you the difference in talent potential between these two teams. Coppin State literally won 2 games last year, and Miami obviously is 2-0 out of the gates right now. This is sort of a nonsense game, but I will tell you one thing. When Coppin State faced top 50, Virginia and Wake Forest, both those games went to 110. And I think this is a similar type of game, and I like the under. Austin Peay in Tennessee. Where is Austin Peay? It's in Tennessee, and Tennessee always loves to kill these smaller schools in Tennessee. Tennessee's facing these two teams faced each other last year, and Tennessee won 86-44. Austin Peay has beat Butler on the road as well. They beat a good Chattanooga team. They're actually a really good team. However, I don't think Tennessee takes them lightly, and I think Tennessee beats them by 35. Weber State, Hawaii. I like Weber State here. Coach Eric's team of Weber State comes off a couple of horrible losses. They are much better than their 2 losses show, and I think they get up to face Hawaii, and I like Weber State. UMass Lowell versus Washington. I have a small lean on UMass Lowell here. They got destroyed by Gonzaga, and one has to think they bounce back here. And maybe Washington wants to beat UMass Lowell by a wider margin than Gonzaga did. But UMass Lowell is not a bad team, and the fact that they have that they come off such a bad loss to Gonzaga, I think they'll be motivated here. All right, let's move on to the NBA here in the association. Detroit and Washington here. I like Detroit here. Detroit's off a big win against Toronto. They are 6-8. Nothing against Washington here, but they are dismal right now. Still no Brogdon for them, and they've lost 6 of their last covers. Give me the Pistons. Denver versus Memphis. I like the Grizzlies here. Memphis has lost to this team the last 5 times, and I think Memphis gets up for this game. Denver's off of a loss to the Pelicans, and that will make them mad for sure. They were solid favorites in that game. Memphis, of course, has lost to the Lakers and Golden State, and they'll be pretty upset and motivated here. Give me Memphis. Charlotte and Cleveland. I like Charlotte. Oh, I can't tell you that. Oops, slip of the tongue there. That's a premium. Dallas versus Oklahoma City. I like Oklahoma City there. Oklahoma City is a bunch of young bucks here that love to play hard, and they've lost to Dallas the last couple of times. They've won 3 in a row, and I think Dallas, off of a big win, they could have a letdown here. Give me a small lean on Oklahoma City on the young bucks. Brooklyn versus New York. I like the Nets here. Look, Williams is supposed to be out in this game. That's why that line is so big. But even without Williams, I think the Nets hang tough. And I think it makes sense for the Nets to do well because they literally just lost to this team by 2 points the other night. So I think that'll make them play well. Immediate revenge. Houston versus Chicago in the NBA. I like Chicago. Don't fully trust Houston here coming off a sweep of the Clippers. They've won 3 in a row. Chicago did beat New York and Atlanta on the road, and they just gave up 144 points to the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think Chicago comes back home and bounces back. Utah and the Clippers. I like the Clippers there. I know it's a lot of points, but Utah has Lakers on deck coming off of a 4-point loss to the Kings where they played well, but these Clippers have lost 3 straight, and they're going to be ticked off coming into this game. And I know Utah played so well against the Kings, but still give me the Clippers. Washington and Vegas. Moving on to the NHL. I like Vegas here. We have a really good 4-unit NHL selection today. I hope you join us. Washington versus Vegas. I like Vegas here. Revenge, and Vegas lost its last home game as well. Washington off of a huge win against Colorado, and I think they're ready to go back home and then lose this game. So I like Vegas. New York and Seattle in NHL. Seattle's off of 4 straight wins. Huge revenge as well. After losing 7 on the road in New York, it does make sense that Seattle does somewhat pretty well here. I like the Seattle plus the 1.5. Nashville and Vancouver. Lean on Nashville. Nashville has lost 3 in a row. Sort of a mess right now. Vancouver's playing well. I do think Nashville has to bounce back at some point, and Vancouver is unable to put together back-to-back wins of late anyway. So give me Nashville. That is what I have for you guys. A lot of selections here. I think when you add it all up, it's 1, 2, 3. In hockey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the NBA, so that's 9. 3, 4, 5, 6, 15, and a total of 19 free selections for you. Hope that was worth it for you. Hope that was valued of your time. And please take a moment to like and subscribe and join us for all of our premium packages, especially season packages. And I'll see you back here tomorrow. Take care.